Hey friends, it's Claire. I have had a lot going on and I have a lot of things I want to talk about, but I have no plan how it's going to go. So we're just going to ramble and see what comes up. The first thing that I guess I want to share now is I had a business photo shoot with Erin, Latterell, Burk, whose company is called Be Seen As You Are. And it was the most magical, amazing time. She helped me feel so comfortable, and I had a lot of fun, and I was just beaming and glowing for like hours, probably the entire rest of the day. We met in the morning, and we were supposed to meet for about an hour, and it ended up being like 2.5 hours. And it was just so much fun. She got me with my selenite swords of light, which I use to do the energy healing work that I do. She got me with some of the shamanic tools that I have made in my Artist Shaman Healer Sage course that I've completed with Catherine Skaggs, which was just an incredible experience. And just me also with some of my other tools, crystals and oracle cards, and it was just the most beautiful day. And in addition to all of that, I did find myself bracing, freezing, holding my breath, and it was amazing because it was such a simple and fun thing, but it was still kind of an edge. I have, some blocks around being seen, and I'm, not necessarily in the shape that I would like to be in at this point in my life. And so I was also able to just do some real-time stress processing using my neurosomatic tools. And it really helped. Like, she said she was learning so much because, she works with people who are getting their photos taken and getting nervous and bracing and holding their breath and not relaxing. And, when we're in a relaxed state, we're our most authentic. We're able to connect with the people that we want to in the way that we want to, and that shows up in the pictures. And so it was just really kind of fun to connect with her through that, as well as, show up for that photo shoot, which was, again, really fun, but also stressful and kind of an edge. So yeah, using those tools was just a really beautiful weave into that moment. The next thing I wanted to talk about is last Thursday, I went down to southern Colorado for another medicine wheel journey that I'm part of, and it was the second direction. Each direction, it's, south, east, north, and west, and each one has its own rites, processes, ceremonies, lineages, practices, and healings. And so the direction that we completed this time around was the west, which is the place of the ancestors and the shadows. And it just really tied well into the shadow work that I have been doing already through the method I use in my coaching. And it was just really a beautiful experience, and I learned a lot, and I processed a lot. And we actually did one ritual, was called the death rites, and we literally had ourselves each a funeral and died to this life in order that we can live the life we were meant to live without any of the past attachments, stories, and all that stuff just was able to be left behind. And it was really, really a wonderful experience. And I'm still working through shadows. I will always be working through shadows, and it's okay. And one of my shadows is to not beat myself up about everything not being the way I expected it to be. And that came up and has come up again since. And at the same time, I'm able to realize it and catch myself in it and get myself out of it, One of the teachings on this direction was the triangle of disempowerment. And it's the relationship between the perpetrator, the victim, and the rescuer. And the goal is to not be in the triangle at all. We don't want to be a rescuer, we don't want to be a victim, and we don't want to be a perpetrator. Any of those things. So I definitely came home from that night and got myself all in a tizzy about something else that's about to come up. And I was like, I'm in the triangle. I'm feeling victim, and stop it. And so, and I still felt my feelings. I didn't bypass. I let myself cry. I let myself be sad. And then I stress processed using my neurosomatic tools. And then I just went to sleep. And I felt so much better the next day. So that was a lot. It was beautiful. And I am catching myself in these shadows, and not catching myself in a bad way like I'm in trouble, but just noticing and able to move through it and out of it so that I'm not living in that looping, which I know a lot of folks can do. And I used to do a lot more than I do now. Okay, the third thing and now I have 4. The third thing that I want to talk about is a little bit more related to shadow, and just to show kind of sneaky ways that they can show up and how I start to notice it. So I'm in a group chat with some friends that I met through a mastermind, and one of them is about probably 10 or 11 years younger, so just in a very different chronological space in life, but similar as far as I want to say spiritual path, maybe, well, I can't even say. I've been on my spiritual path for about 2.5 to 3 years, and yeah, I'm just not sure how long this individual has been on theirs for. It doesn't matter, it's not a contest, but yeah, just still in that exploration phase, lots of healing, lots of personal introspection, and I really admire their ability to process out loud and really talk through things. A lot of times they're leaving voice notes, and there was one this morning that was pretty long. I think it was 3 of them combining to about 30 minutes, and I just noticing in my body my reaction to their experiences, their stories, what they were talking about, the social situations they had been in, the spiritual experiences they were having. And I've caught myself, noticed myself having 4 different shadows come up within just this one person's share. And of course, I absolutely celebrated their win. It was a phenomenal story. I hope that that they share it publicly, because it's a really beautiful transformation and mystical experience. But yeah, I really was noticing myself being judgmental towards, what they were doing with their social interactions, and judgmental about myself for not having my own amazing mystical growth experiences, higher healing, multiple lifetimes of blockages and fears, and my relationship with plant medicine, which I haven't developed yet, and maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know, but it seems like almost everyone on a spiritual path seems to be talking about plant medicine these days, and it seems to really open things up for people. I'm always mad about my own blocks and quote unquote lack of clarity, lack of experience, and so just judging myself, questioning do I need to engage with plant medicine? Should I? Will my experiences be better if I do? And then also, again, my admiration for them to be able to talk for that long about one thing and feeling like a little, I guess, jealousy or positive projection, because I just don't feel that well spoken, or like I maybe don't think about things deeply enough, or maybe I just process through it so fast that I don't have time to put words to it. I really am not sure. So it was just, again, you know, all these things coming up, and initially I wanted to just ignore all these voice memos. And then I thought, you know what? No, like, they're a good friend to their other friend group. You know, I aspire to that type of friend group where I could feel so connected and safe, and yeah, it was just again, everyone in our lives has potential to be a mirror for ourselves and what we're going through personally. So I just really took that moment to understand, like, what are my shadows? Why am I so activated by this? What is this charge all about? And so it really tied in with my experience down in Southern Colorado at my West Medicine Wheel intensive in those shadows. And I'm doing releasing fires, and I think it's just kind of a test. Like, are you really looking at these shadows? Are you really willing to let go of these stories? And so I'm just really trying. I'm dedicated to letting these go and not hold me back so much. And the fourth thing that I have is that I am going to Egypt, and not that you'll miss me, because I'm not that consistent as posting videos, but I'm going to Egypt. I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. You probably won't hear from me. Hopefully I remember to take pictures, because I tend to be just very present in the moment with the land and the space and the people and the technologies that are there and the experiences that are waiting for me. I'm just thrilled. So I will be gone for 2 weeks, and I will be different when I come back. So that is all that I have to share today. Thank you for hanging in. This one's a little bit longer, so maybe I am working through some of those blocks after all. I hope you are well. I love you so much, and I will see you when I am back from Egypt. Thank you.